what it has meant to me has been everything. I think that it has been largely cathartic in my life. It has largely been a place where I have been able to, without going to counseling, I have been able to talk through um, issues that I'm going through, issues that I have had with the church, issues with my time in ministry. It has been largely a place to share those and put them out there. In more recent months, for instance, I had shared just about my walk with the Lord and different struggles that I've had in that area, and the whole idea of keeping the faith, and how I'm not ever really tempted to not keep the faith, but that doesn't mean that I'm always understand anything. I don't understand God. I don't understand all the things we go through. And of course, I say all that knowing that I'm somebody who has studied theology. I have an advanced degree in theological studies. So I know in my head, I understand things, but it's so different translating it to the heart into our lives. And so I feel like I have walked that with you, that when you go back to the early catalog of our topics, you were dealing with topics that we were in many ways fully prepared for, in that we had already hashed out these topics. But I also feel like I worked more from the reservoir of things that I had taught as a pastor, whereas now I work from a reservoir of where I am in my walk with the Lord, what my belief is today, what you know, because these things change, and church isn't always the safest place to have those things happen, to have our views change, right? Even though uh the Christian walk and the way the Lord works is by drawing us closer to him and giving us a deeper knowledge of him. And so that's going to bring change in our lives. I hope that you don't look at absolutely everything in your life the same today that you did 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago. I hope that you have grown in your knowledge of the Lord, and that has changed the way that you approach things, the way that you approach people. Even as I said, even if you've been a believer for, say, 25, 30 years, I hope that the way that you are as a believer now is different than the way you were as a believer 15 years ago, because I hope it's reflective of a deeper walk with the Lord. I hope it's reflective of having wrestled through things, wrestling through, why did you allow this to happen in my life, Lord? Why does it seem like you are silent now, Lord? All those types of things that we walk through. And that is what this podcast has been for me. It has been cathartic in that, allowing me to share these thoughts with people that I love and trust. I love and trust Anthony. I love and trust Seth. I love and trust Nia. And what's great is we all don't agree with each other on all things, and yet we love and trust one another enough to share in those areas.